If you're moving to Newberg and you're starting a new business here, or you've got an existing business and are relocating to Newberg and basically restarting that business here, there's a few things you need to know. Every community has its own culture or vibe. So if you're starting or relocating your business to a new community, then it's really important to understand how that community works so that when you start your business here, that you actually fit in and can grow your business properly. But the other side of it is, how do you actually get to know people in the first place? And that's a lot of what I'm going to be talking about in this video, is what are the different opportunities to get to know people in Newberg. So right behind me is the Chehalem Cultural Center, which is where a lot of these opportunities happen. So what I'm going to be doing in this video is sharing what are the different opportunities to get to know people. And then once you've gotten to know those people, what do you do to grow your business and turn those relationships into business? By the way, if you're new to this channel, my name is Daniel Roberts. I run a small real estate team called the Joyful Roberts Group. We specialize in helping people move, especially business owners, move to the area. And actually, each of the members on our team are ambassadors at the Chamber of Commerce, which is going to be one of the main places I highlight to grow your business. So if you're moving to Newberg, especially if you're starting a new business here, definitely reach out to me. Not only do I love helping people buy homes and move to Newberg, but I also love helping people build the right connections and relationships, get established here, and ultimately grow the business. So my information is right there at the bottom of the screen. Feel free to reach out to me. All right, so where do you actually go to grow your business and to make these connections and build these relationships? Well, like I said, a lot of things happen inside here at the Cultural Center. So the first thing I'm going to mention is Rotary. There are actually 3 Rotary clubs in Newberg. The one I'm a part of is called Newberg Noon Rotary. We meet at noon on Wednesdays, pretty much every week inside the Cultural Center. So the other 2 clubs are on Thursday and Friday. So the Thursday club meets at 7 a.m. They call themselves the Early Birds Club, and I'm sure you can understand why. Then the Friday club is Chehalem Rotary, which meets on Fridays at noon. But one of the interesting things about Rotary is you should try out each club before settling on one. Even though I'm in the noon club and really encourage people to come to that one, each club has a slightly different fit culture that you need to decide for yourself which one is right for you. Each Rotary club has a slightly different focus. The noon club is really focused on youth services, and the Thursday club is focused on like brick and mortar projects around town. So that's kind of what they really focus on. And Friday doesn't necessarily have a specific focus that I'm aware of. That's also because it's a bit of a newer club, but I'm sure as time goes on, they'll develop a specific focus of their own. Now, while Rotary is not specifically a networking event, you can meet a lot of great people there. And ultimately, like I said, it's all about building relationships. So if you build relationships, even though it's not like specifically business related, ultimately those relationships can lead to new business. And we'll talk about what to do with those relationships at the end of the video. The next club I'll talk about is City Club. So City Club also meets inside the Cultural Center, and they meet on the 1st and 3rd Tuesdays of the month, except for the summer months. Now, again, City Club is not specifically a networking group. It is more a place where people can come and learn about what's happening in the area. So there'll be speakers that come and share about interesting topics. But it's still a great place to come and get to know really some of the prominent people in town, and again, build more relationships. All right, the next organization I'm going to talk about is Kiwanis, who also meets in the Cultural Center. Now, Kiwanis is a global service organization, and their main focus really is on serving youth around the world, and that's one of the main things they focus on here. So if you're interested in serving youth and that's something you're passionate about, Kiwanis could also be a really good fit for you. Now, the next 2 organizations I'm going to focus on are really specifically aimed at women. So if you're a women business owner, these might be a good fit for you. So the first one is Soroptimist. Now, Soroptimist, not a networking group, again, more of a service club, but they are entirely focused on serving women, especially single moms, and really women who are kind of the breadwinners of the house, and finding ways to support those women. That is one of the main things that Soroptimist focuses on. But if that's something you're passionate about, it's a great opportunity, again, to meet more people. The next organization is FUN. It's Females United Network. Now, that is actually a part of one of the chamber events, which I'll be talking about in a minute at the chamber, more in detail. But that's one that if you like to have fun and you're a woman business owner, that could be a really good one to check out. The next organization I'll mention is Young Pros. Now, Young Pros is really designed for people from the ages of 21 to 40-ish, and that's kind of heavy on the ish. Now, Young Pros is actually in the process as of now, October 2023. It's in the process of really coming back to life. The COVID pandemic really wiped out a lot of what Young Pros was, and it's kind of starting from the ground up. And I have actually kind of taken over the reins from that, or leadership, I should say, has transitioned to me. So we're actually in the process of building this back up. So right now we meet on the first Tuesday of the month, and this is an opportunity for young professionals to come get to know each other, again, build relationships, and really get to know the town and find ways to help each other grow our businesses. So that's going to be a great opportunity if you're in that age range to come and grow your business. All right, now I'm saving the best for last. We're going to talk about Chamber of Commerce. And like I said, I'm an ambassador with the Chamber of Commerce. It's something that I personally really care about because it does a lot of great things for businesses here in the community. So let's go check that out right now. All right, now I've saved the best for last. We're going into the Chamber of Commerce. Now, like I said, I'm an ambassador here, and it's really one of my favorite places to come and meet new business people. And that's because it's specifically a networking event for business people around town to get to know each other. So if you're starting a new business, this is probably the most important place for you to come and meet people. So every Friday morning, there's what's called the Greeters event. So Chamber Greeters, we meet either here in the Visitor Center or at one of the local businesses around town. So it's an opportunity to introduce yourself, learn about another local business. And if you become a member, then you get to host at some point and share about your business. One of the other great things that Chamber does is it offers after hours. So not everyone can make Friday morning at 8 a.m. So there's also opportunities to come at a later time. So once a month, there's a Chamber after hours where people can get together, maybe have some wine or a beer, or just grab some snacks and meet other businesses who also really prefer that evening time. Now, like I said, because Chamber is specifically geared towards businesses and helping businesses thrive, they've got like specific things for businesses. Now, all the other organizations I've mentioned are great places to get to know people. The Chamber is just specifically for networking. All right, so that is all the organizations that are good for you to check out. Again, you're probably not going to want to check out all of them, but there are different ideas of what you can do. Now, not each of these organizations or groups or clubs has links to a website or anything like that. But if you're interested in coming to any of them, you can probably either find it online or just reach out to me directly. I'd be happy to point you in the right direction. All right, so once you've gone to these groups, you've met some people, what do you do next? Because meeting people doesn't automatically turn into new business. Like I said, every community has its own culture, its own vibe, and you have to fit into that if you want to succeed. Some places you show up, you shake people's hands, you give them a business card, and that's how it's done. In Newberg, it doesn't really work that way. You have to build relationships first. Newberg is a very generous town. There's a lot of people who do a lot for this community. And that's why actually my podcast, The Giving Town, is named The Giving Town, because it's a very giving and generous town here. So people want to see people make an investment. Other businesses don't want to see someone else coming in and just trying to take things from someone. They want to see someone who's going to invest in the community first or invest into other businesses first. All right, so what does that look like? Well, it could be helping out with nonprofits by volunteering. It could be attending an auction. But really, a lot of what people are looking for is someone to seek to serve in business first and not just take. So when you're meeting someone, that's usually not the time to ask for the business. If you talk to someone and you feel like you've developed some good rapport, a good relationship, maybe treat them out to a cup of coffee, get to know about their business, ask them good questions about themselves, and see if there's anything you can do based on your expertise that could help them in their business or just help them in general that doesn't result in you trying to get a sale. So you're giving something away for free, maybe like a lost leader type of thing. And then afterwards, if you've developed that relationship, you can ask for business or ask if your business is even something that could be helpful for them. The other thing is obviously you have to be good at what you do. Newberg is a pretty small town, and if you're not great at what you do, word's going to travel fast that people are going to try to avoid you. And if you are really good at what you do, then people are going to be more likely to refer you to their friends and family or coworkers. The next thing is, like I mentioned, once you've built those relationships, don't be afraid to ask people for referrals. So if you've done business, or even if you haven't done business with someone, you can always say, hey, keep me in mind when you're thinking of, say you sell insurance. Hey, if you need someone looking for insurance, keep me in mind. But it has to come with you serving first. You have to build that relationship first. And that's kind of one of the tricky things is how long do you have to wait? How much does that relationship need to be there first? And again, that's from person to person. Some people wait way too long. Some people do it way too soon. But just keep in mind that you do have to ask for the business for it to come. One of the ways that you can really help with this is by getting a very specific target audience. So if you know exactly who you're serving, it's much easier to ask people for that. For example, on my team is Karen Roberts, who also happens to be my mom, but she is a seniors real estate specialist. So she helps specifically people who have an elderly parent or relative moving into a senior care facility. So for her, it's much easier to ask someone and say, hey, do you know someone who is maybe needing to move into senior care? I would love to help walk you through that process. So it's very specific, and people only have a few ideas in their mind of who that might be, and it's easier for them to refer to her. Again, another way that you can grow your business is by asking people for connections or introductions to other people who might know the people that you want to serve. People in Newberg, like I said, are very generous. They want to see new businesses succeed, even if they themselves are not the ones who are going to be giving you that business. So if you make connections and ask people, hey, who do you think I need to know? Who do you think I need to meet? Most of the time, people are going to be happy to make those introductions for you. All right, again, if you are moving to Newberg, you're starting a new business here, reach out to me. I'd be happy to connect. I'd be happy to help you find an organization or club or service group to be a part of. And if you need to buy a home here, I'd be more than happy to help you do that as well. Buying a home, as you know, as a business owner can be a bit tricky. So there's a few things we need to navigate through that. But I'd be happy to help and look forward to meeting you if you do end up reaching out. All right, well, one of these videos that's coming up right now might be something you're interested in checking out. So if you do, I'll go ahead and see you in the next video.